Welcome to 1001, an album odyssey, where each week 5 friends bring you 5 albums from the book 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. We don't choose these albums. Each weekday, a new album from the list is emailed to all 5 of us. We listen to it. We discuss those albums via text message to each other. And then we decide who's going to present each album. This week, we've got Music for the Masses by Depeche Mode.
What's Demode?
Depeche Mode. I translated it right after I said it. LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out.
It's not distracting at all.
Post-orgasmic. I thought that was just in my head. Post-orgasmic Chill by Skunk. Hold on. I looked up how to pronounce that. Anansie.
Just waiting.
It's only a 3-minute song, man. We got to hurry up.
Skunk Anansie.
Skunk Anansie?
And then another one that I looked up too. Movies by Holger. How do you say that?
Czukay. Czukay.
Well, the wheels are coming off the bus.
Thank you. And Metallica, self-titled album.
Love
it, Mike.
Take it away.
Love it, Mike.
Somebody.
That's me. I'm Demode. It's time for some Depeche Mode. That's right. Music for the Masses, straight out of 1987. Great intro, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
Way to bring it today. Way to bring it today, man.
Bring the energy.
Way to bring it, man. I love it. We need more intros like that, I think. We're going to jump right in. I want to hear straight out of the gate what's arguably the most popular and important tracks off the album, Never Let Me Down Again. That's pretty much all you need. Everybody's heard that jam.
All right, that was a great review, Jay.
Yeah. 1 star. So this is definitely the definitive Depeche Mode anthem on this album. I was a little bit confused on this song. It's lyrically ambiguous for me. I can't tell if it's about friendship or addiction or both. But what I do know is I friggin' love it. I've been a Depeche Mode fan for a long time, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before at some point, but thanks to my sister, she's 4 years older than me and just adored Depeche Mode and Erasure and The Cure and all those acts. And so I've liked them for a long time. I was lucky enough to see them in concert on their Exciter tour. When they played this song we just heard during their encore, and the friggin' crowd just went nuts. I mean, it was just such a memorable experience. This week's album, this is a record that somehow manages to sound massive and intimate all at the same time. It's dark, it's emotional, and it helped turn a synth band into a stadium phenom. And for me, as I mentioned, it's a little bit more personal. It reminds me so much of my sister, and she was way more into Violator and Black Celebration than she was Music for the Masses. But Depeche Mode was always on in our house. It was always on loud in our house, and especially when our mom was gone. And look, I think while if I could take myself out of that emotional space. Most of the album, it really hits that perfect balance of mood and melody. But there are a couple moments, and I'll save those for the end, that take a turn into something a little more unsettling. I guess let's jump in and you'll see what I mean. The next sample we want to hear is one of their more accessible songs called "Strange Love." Strange love, strange love. That's how my love goes. Strange love. Will you give it to me? Will you take the pain? I will give to you again and again. Will you return it? Yeah, the song had huge club and radio success. It's loaded with themes of toxic love and emotional dependency. And if you'll allow me, I'd like to read a little bit for you. Strange love.
Go right ahead.
Thank you. I'm going to start over. Strange love. That's how my love goes. Will you give it to me? Will you take the pain I'll give to you?
Whoa.
Again and again? And will you return it? Moving on.
I think you should do most albums, especially the bad ones.
Yeah.
As spoken lyric, because
Okay.
what was the bad album that you did the other day? That absolutely, you need to
GI.
do that every time. That is fucking great.
Yeah, okay, you got it. You need more lyrics. You're in for a treat today then. Let me explain who the hell Depeche Mode is. So you have Dave Gahan on vocals. He has that, obviously the front man. He's confident. He's full of charisma. And this album, you see him start to fully own this front man role. You also have Martin Gore, of course, songwriting, keys, a little bit of guitar, or a little bit of keys and a little bit of guitar, I guess. The emotional and lyrical architect of most of their songs. And he brings the darkness. Apparently he's the one that has the more provocative themes, and he's the one that's kind of set in that tone. You have Alan Wilder. He's on production and more of the arrangements, and then of course Andrew Fletcher, aka Fletch, on keys. I just made that nickname up for him, so I don't really know if that's true. This album was released September 28th, 1987, their sixth studio album from Depeche Mode. This album helped mark their full transition from this cult synth, more underground type sound to the global arena act that we know them to be today. This was recorded during a period where they were refining a more darker, more cinematic sound, and I think all that really comes through in this album, track after track. As I mentioned, there's a couple of these tracks that I could do without. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But I thought the album title was ironic. I wasn't sure. I really spent some time thinking about this, probably way too much time. But I wasn't sure if it was meant to be that way. Like it's definitely not music for the masses. I think it's not immediately accessible. I don't think. But I also think ultimately it managed to connect with a massive audience. So maybe they were onto something that I just didn't see. Let's hear another track. This is the track that this has more of this pulsing hypnotic groove in a song called Behind the Wheel. Friggin' love this song. I just love it. It's just such a hypnotic track for me. And it's got lyrics about control and surrender and detachment. And since Ryan brought it up, I mean, I'd be happy if you're prompting me. I'm just saying, I'd be happy to clue you in on a little bit.
I was saying more bad lyrics, but
Well, I have them here. I happen to have them.
You might as well hone your skills.
I mean,
for the later albums.
I did write them down, so I may as well. There are times when I feel I'd rather not be the one behind the wheel. Come, pull my strings, watch me move. I do anything, please, sweet little girl. I prefer you behind the wheel. There we go. So whatever that's worth for you.
That was very
Thank you.
deep.
Slow clap. Love it. Let's jump into our next sample. This is a song called The Things You Said. It's one of those songs that just kind of creeps up on you. I mean, it's not flashy, but it sticks with you. It just kind of marinates in it a little bit.
I think it needs more reverb.
Yeah, maybe some more cowbell. I don't know. When you dig in a little bit deeper, and you dig into the lyrics, and I'll save you from reading any more lyrics. But it's about the aftermath of words you can't take back, and you can feel that throughout the whole track. And I don't know, I certainly have been there. I have all kinds of words I wish I could take back. But the song itself, it never fully explodes. What you heard right there is exactly what you're going to get throughout the entire track. It just kind of simmers, and I think that's a part of its magic and why it works so well. The next sample is one of the more emotional core songs on the album, called "Sacred." Yeah, it's got the strong vocal performance there from Dave Gahan. It's definitely more melodic and a little bit more uplifting compared to some of their other darker tracks on the album. But I thought it was a good one to highlight because it shows their balance between gloom and beauty. I mean, it's excuse me, they really managed to walk that line. They do it so well too, I think. Why did this album matter? Why is it even on this list? Why are we even talking about Depeche Mode music for the masses? This album set the stage for their explosion in the U.S. I mean, this is what helped them just catapult into their popularity, notoriety. It directly led to the Music for the Masses tour, which culminated into the legendary tour finale at the Rose Bowl. This is their 101st and final show of the tour. It was recorded and later released as a double album called 101. Yeah, you guessed it. And it's also a documentary as well. So if you're interested in it, there's a documentary floating around out there called Depeche Mode 101 or 101, or I guess those are the only options.
Is there going to be a test?
Yeah. And if you fail, there will be demerits.
Good.
Yeah.
That sounds like a college intro course,
Yeah. Maybe Chuck has watched that before, the documentary.
I have not.
Okay.
But I'd like to. I'm game.
Yeah. I'm game as well. Yeah. I think this album helped solidify electronic music, and that it can be emotional, it can be dark, but it can also be stadium worthy, and definitely a key stepping stone into their masterpiece Violator, which came later. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, guys. I'm sorry, but as I mentioned at the top, there are a couple tracks that I want to call out only because they're so creepy and definitely unsettling, and I could do without them, but I thought I should share. So the first track is titled Little 15.
As time goes by, and when you see what she's seen, you will, little 15.
Look, I'm not 100% clear exactly what it's referring to. I mean,
it's him and his girlfriend's 15th anniversary.
Maybe. I guess that's maybe it's his dog. I don't know. But what I can tell you is, just like my 11-year-old son Henry says, it gives me the ick. And I just don't like it.
And do you mind, real quick, on the album Black Celebration, they have a song called A Question of Time, and it always sort of weirded me out too, because they have this line like, well, now you're only 15 and like everyone's after you, and like I was like, what's this obsession with being 15?
It's really kind of creepy. It's definitely creepy. I mean, it's again, I'm just assuming he's talking about a girl, but there's all kinds of lyrics.
It could be a turning point in his life too, or whoever,
That's true.
Where something bad happened and it creeped them out, or good, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, A Question of Time, if you want, it says, well, I'll do a Jake here. Well, now you're only 15 and you look good. I'll take you under my wing. Somebody should.
Oh boy.
They've persuasive ways, and you'll believe what they say.
Oh boy.
It's just a question of time, and it's running out for you.
It's just a question of time.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, we know the song, and but now it's creepy to me too. So that's not cool.
You're welcome for
It's
that.
worth doing some research on that because you might not be as creeped out if you
Maybe.
You know, there might be
I
another
did
message
very-
behind it. But
Look,
it's
I
just-
did very little research here, so it's very surface level only.
It's got a nice album cover.
Yeah, does it? I mean, even that was like, oh, I don't know. All right, well, and finally, the next sample is just so strange, and it doesn't fit on the album to me at all. What the fuck are you thinking, Depeche Mode? It's a song called Pimpf.
I think that's the demo mode on the Casio keyboard.
It's called Pimpf. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but
What was it like? The monks that did those recordings. It kind of reminds me of that.
yeah, it's definitely doesn't fit on the album for me, but it's all instrumental. It's super dark. It's super gothic. It feels more moody than anything else. Look, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. The album for me, it hits differently because of my sister. That's definitely for sure. Depeche Mode definitely sits in my heart because of her. But I think if it weren't for that, I'd rate this one a little bit lower than normal because there's that little girl stuff and that's not cool. But this is one of those albums that it's not for me anyway, it's not just music, it's creating memory and that's what's so great about music, you know, it's that universal language that no matter what language you speak, we can all hear the same song and we can all get, you know, be tied to it emotionally somehow. But anyway, I'm giving this album 3.5 stars. Guys, what did you think? Jordan, take it away.
All right. Well, I too have a connection to Depeche Mode because of my older sister. She's 5 years older than me and was very, very much into Depeche Mode. You know, Black Celebration is one of my absolute favorite albums of all time. And I remember, you know, having my sister's tape copy of Catching Up with Depeche Mode, bringing it to the barbershop. I shared this with you guys in the chat, my lovely haircut. And I got my haircut just like Dave Gahan with the flat top, you know. Oh, yeah. And yeah, that was when I was in 4th grade. And, you know, People Are People was my favorite song at that time when I was in 4th grade. So I've loved Depeche Mode for a really long time. And I remember when this came out and, you know, going to my cousin's house because they had MTV and just watching the video. And I was just like, whoa, the For Never Let Me Down Again. And it was just like, what is this song? It was like the coolest thing I'd ever heard. And I still think it's one of the best, you know, synth pop or maybe like kind of goth synth pop, at least, songs ever done. But this isn't my favorite album on the whole. It's not completely solid all the way through. Still very good, and I'm going to go 4.
Okay, 4 stars. That's good. Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate that breakdown. Ryan, what about you?
You know, I didn't have a connection because I didn't have an older sister or brother listening to this, but I did get introduced to it later on.
Well, you suck, dude.
I know, but I do like Depeche Mode a lot. I remember my dad reading in the LA Times that the concert was like watching a bunch of people pressing play on a sequencer. I don't know how true that is, but that was the impression I had of Depeche Mode growing up. But I like the music quite a bit. To me, it was, I'm familiar with a lot of the songs, but it doesn't resonate with me as much. That being said, I still am going to give it a 4 because I do like the synth parts of it and the vocals, and it's really good music, you know?
Yeah, agreed. Mike, what about you, sir?
Yeah, no connection to Depeche Mode. In fact, his voice ends up getting on my nerves. I can take it in small doses. The single is great, but besides that, I thought it was pretty snoozy. I gave it 3.4.
That's not bad for snoozy.
No, I know. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just because of the singles.
I want to try and bring that adjective back.
Snoozy?
A little snoozy. Like
You
I
can
want
hear a song about it. I'm bringing snoozy back.
It's on the album Incontinent Gravy.
That's awesome. Chuck, bring us home, Chuck.
Well, I enjoyed your review. I enjoyed your adjective, simmers. I liked your quote. Just kind of simmers. Like that sort of, that's how I feel. Like I feel like I've only dipped my toe sort of in this genre and time, but like I think when you listen to Depeche Mode, just dipping your toe in it, it's like, oh, I can see how this represents the genre well. Like that whole 80s club vibe and everything.
Yeah.
So, and like, I mean, 15 is kind of old for like people like the Big Bopper, you know, and especially if you're not like a relative.
Wait.
Big
let's
Bopper.
not-
No, I
let's
think
not
you mean
just-
Jerry.
Slow
I think you mean Jerry Lee Lewis,
Slow down.
dude.
Oh, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah. Let's not slander
But,
people here.
Slow down.
I'm going to give it
South.
a 3.
Yeah, his views do not reflect the rest of the.
He's right. 18 is 18.
And you got to name
though.
the right pedophile. That's all.
Sorry, that's my bad. Sorry, Jerry Lee Lewis. I always get him and the Big Bopper confused.
All right. Well, let's move on
13-year-old
before
cousin,
It's too
right?
late. Next up, we have LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out."
Come back. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my peers, putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, exploding, overpowering over the competition. I'm
Yeah. That's the title track of LL Cool J's 4th studio album, released on Def Jam September 14th, 1990. Let's hear some more.
Damn! Ooh! Listen to the way I slay your cool damage! 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 Destruction, terror, and mayhem. Pass me a sissy song, sucker, I'll slay him.
Love that line.
I got a picture of you driving around in the old gray Ghost with the red vinyl seats, you know, the LTD.
Oh, yeah.
Blasting this through the tape cassette and the 4-inch speakers, you know.
Limited time to destruction. Yep. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like that song? That is an amazing song. It's an amazing single. It's not the opening of the album. It's the 8th track as well as the 4th single. It was released almost 5 months after the album was released in 1991.
That shocks me that it was released like the
Right?
4th single. How would like
You're right. I mean, and almost a half a year later, it's
Yeah.
like, what was I? Because to me, it stands out as by far the best track. on
Around the Way
album.
Girl is pretty good though. That came
Around
out
the Way
everywhere.
Girl is great, but largely because of the hook. You know, but that song has an infectious beat, and that's largely due to the skilled producer who is Marley Marl, hip hop legend, original member of the Juice Crew. And he was famous for promoting other acts like Big Daddy Kane and Masta. I'm saying it that way because it's spelled M-A-S-T-A. Ace, Masta Ace. Let's hear a little of Marley Marl's 1988 classic featuring Masta Ace.
Beckon and call out, an all-out rush, just like wrecking your brain as you strain to maintain, sustain the way you felt, because I dealt you pain and pleasure in every single measure. You miss being kissed by this lyrical treasure. Enjoy it at your leisure, cause it's gonna please you. Master Ace.
So that was Marley Marl's 1988 classic off his album In Control Volume 1. And I don't even know if he released Volume 2, but that was Volume 1. It's considered a golden age of hip-hop classic, a period of hip-hop that is roughly defined late 80s, early 90s. That genre ushered in such acts as Public Enemy, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Eric B. and Rakim, Brand Nubians, and many, many more. So it leads me to the question, where does LL Cool J fit into this period of hip-hop or hip hop in general? You know, more specifically, how does his 1990 Def Jam release, Mama Said Knock You Out, stand up to his peers? Well, the title track and single we listened to no one's surprise, was a huge hit. It made countless lists. It's not only considered an amazing hip-hop song, it's considered an amazing pop song, one of the best of all time. The samples he used are from James Brown, or that Marley Marl used are from funky drummer James Brown. There's two Sly and the Family Stone, Trip to Your Heart, and Sing a Simple Song, as well as a group I've never heard of, Chicago Gangsters, Gangster Boogie. And David Frick, noted Rolling Stone journalist, and the year-end records published in December of 1991, wrote LL Cool J, quote, obliges big time with producer Marley Marl's stilly stripped backbeat and his own verbal fisticuffs on the super slammin' track, end quote. But does the rest of the album hold up to the 1990 hip-hop treasures? Let's see. Let's listen to a little bit of Booming System.
Till the break of day, it's because I want attention when I'm riding by. And the girl be on my jock cause my system's fly. Cars ride with the booming system. Cars ride with the booming system. Just front.
So that's LL and Booming System. The system may surely have been fly, but I don't know. To me personally, the lyrics, the flow leave a lot to be desired on that track. Nonetheless, it's a celebrated track among bass-heavy car culture. The song samples James Brown's The Payback and Funky Drummer, as well as Public Enemy's Bring the Noise. And since we were talking about Public Enemy in this year released Fear of the Black Planet, and Tribe Called Quest, which we featured this album earlier on the podcast, features released people's indistinctive travels and the paths of rhythm. So just keep that in mind in comparison to this LL Cool J album. The second track and third single from the album prominently samples a hip-hop girl group created by Rick James called the Mary Jane Girls, and their 1983 breakout All Night Long song. Let's hear a little of Around the Way Girl.
Jokes to share. Lisa, Angela, Pamela, Renee, I love you. You're from around the way.
All right, Around the Way Girl. We talked a little bit earlier. Jordan was saying how much he liked that track. It definitely has a really catchy hook, sung by R&B singer Eric Williams, who was part of the R&B group I've never heard of before, Black Heart. And it's probably the best part of the song, I'm going to argue.
What about the line, I need a girl with extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair? Come on.
Well, I mean, that's a funny line, but I mean, it's not, No,
actually, as a kid, I was like, oh, that's cool. What do bamboo earrings look like?
I don't know. It doesn't have the alliteration or the wordplay of, I think, a lot of MCs that are a little heavier than, or, lyrically than LL Cool J. But, I mean.
But you guys seem like eating ice cream and stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, I think LL Cool J was the Drake of the 80s.
Yeah,
and 90s.
he
was this
over-sexualized
playboy,
his ice cream cone thing. It was gross.
With a lot of swagger. And, he made some amazing singles and some amazing songs. But I think as a whole, his albums and sort of his craft, there's a little bit lacking. There's a little bit that, could be desired. Let's say that. The final track, which I'd like to listen to and highlight a little, is To the Break of Dawn.
I took the cover right home to the bathroom. And the immortal words of LL, hard as hell. Your broad wears it well. She's the reason that your record sold a few copies. But your rhymes are sloppy like Oscar. And you're bound to get dropped. And stop, I ain't Murray the cop.
So does anyone know the film that track was featured in or was a single for?
Do the Right Thing? I don't know.
Frozen?
two rappers, one with very large hairstyle.
Oh, Kid and Play?
Yeah, that was in their film House Party.
Oh.
So that was, LL Cool J released it for his album and then for the soundtrack. It was on the soundtrack. So there was like 2 single releases. But yeah, it's also a diss track. And apparently his rivals or the people he was at war with at the time were Kool Moe Dee, MC Hammer, and Ice-T.
Nice.
Wow.
So he
That's
disses them all on
diverse.
that track. Yeah. And apparently Kool Moe Dee did a diss
It was
track
simpler
back,
times.
back and forth, but yeah, I think they worked it out now. The song samples Portland, Oregon R&B band Pleasure's 1977 funky track Joyous, which I had never heard. Pretty great track. And the JB's breakoff band Maceo and the All the Kings 1970 funky hit Got to Getcha, another really awesome track, as well as James Brown's Give It Up or Turn It Loose. I'm going to leave us with this. in a 19, I'm so used to saying 19, in a 2024 interview with the radio personality Big Boy, LL Cool J stated his belief that he was the most important rapper to ever existed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He was humble, too. Well, that's good.
Yeah, very humble, very humble.
I think I've mentioned this before, but when I saw Chuck D speak at Cornell in like 2001 or 2 or whatever it was,
he said LL
Cool J was the best rapper ever. But that was back then.
You know, LL Cool J samples a lot of Public Enemy, so maybe there was a financial incentive in that. But yeah, I mean, he put it out there. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to ask if this is more of a comeback album for him, or how long had he been around since this album came out?
Yeah, it was sort of a comeback album, like
the 86
the album he released before, which is I can't think of the name of it.
The Panther, 1989.
Yes, that's it. Had one of the singles had a line on it where he was apparently bragging about giving himself fellatio or being able to.
Oh, wow.
And,
Like
you know,
Marilyn Manson?
a lot of hip hop crew like thought that was really hilarious and didn't understand why he was joking about it. And I don't know. I think he was trying to prove himself on this album, and like, you know, gangster rap was sort of coming up, like, you know, in the West Coast. And so this is sort of LA's LL Cool J's like, yes, like I'm here, you know, I was here before and I'm the king still.
I just checked. 85 was when he had radio. I thought, yeah. So
85, wow.
But he was so incredibly young because he was like 17 when that came out. And he's doing this album. He's like, don't call it a comeback, Been Your Fears. He was like 22.
Well, I mean, he probably lived a lifetime.
Yeah, they're saying like his first album
years.
out was out and he was like 17. Like, you know, it's crazy.
But he claims to be in the 2024 interview the greatest rapper to ever existed. He talks about being the one that sort of created this bad boy persona. You know, so he's a precursor to P. Diddy, I guess. He talks about fusing rap and R&B and being a champion, quote, of the hip hop love song. And he also talks about sort of like his influence on the culture and the aesthetic. You know, I don't know if you remember, he had, what was the thing where which pant leg did you roll up, your left or your right?
I don't remember.
That was like a huge thing that LL started, you know? So, I mean, like without a doubt, I think LL Cool J has influenced Western contemporary culture and been, you know, a big part of hip hop. Is he the best hip hop artist of all time? I don't think so. And, you know, I think this album, it has its charm. It has a lot of, you know, has some great singles, but for me, it's really lacking, especially even if you compare it to its peers at the time. So for me, it's a 3. Let's take it from the top. What do you think, Jake?
I was never into the hip hop scene in general. I sort of slept on the whole thing for some reason. But really loved your breakdown as always. You came with all the facts and told a good story, and was super into it. The album is nothing I'm ever going to go back to. I don't think it was fine. 2 stars.
Alrighty.
Although I will say, he's freaking ripped, man. Dude, look at this guy.
Yeah,
And he still is.
Time.
I mean, he looks great for however old he is. I mean, definitely.
Right.
Jordan?
Oh, me. Well, I think I don't know. I'll go 3.25 because Mama Said Knock You Out is so good, and you know,
It's a great track.
Round the Way Girl. It's just like a couple of those things are just enough.
But
and on the whole,
why do you like Around the Way the Girl though?
I like the whole thing because I
You
also
like-
have memories
you
of
like
that
his
one.
lyrics and everything.
It's silly, you know, but I remember listening to that one when I was a kid. I remember when that one came out and watching it on MTV and just like, you know, I don't know, just the hook got me for, you know, back then. And it's just the lyrics I always thought were kind of
hook.
funny. And it's not, you know, like poetry or anything, but I just enjoy it. And then the
Poetry
whole,
for a kindergartner.
well, sure. I just said it's not poetry, so I'm not trying to say.
Well, I mean, like they can write poetry too. So
Okay. So anyway, the album is just, it's reasonable. Everything sounds, it's okay. Like there's very few things on that album that make me just want to like turn it off. So, but very few that inspire, you know, aside from a couple of the singles. So 3.25. Oh, and by the way, we all know that Vanilla Ice is the greatest rapper ever. Sorry.
Oh, of course. I'm bad. Mike, what did you think?
Yeah, it surprised me. I hadn't listened to a lot of LL Cool J aside from the hits, and I enjoyed his flow. Yeah, his lyrics were pretty weak, but I liked that he could, come hard. I liked that he could be smooth. So I thought he had a little versatility.
You're turning me on over here, man.
I know, right? And that's, while you're...
Jake's about to go get a pair of bamboo earrings.
Right. Or get some of those ribs removed.
But anyway, I gave it a 3.6.
3.6.
That's a good review. Right?
I'm going to give it a solid 3, right in the middle. That's where I felt about it. Whatever Knock You Out is... Mama Said Knock You Out is a good song, I agree, but I also don't have any connection with it, and it is kind of slow and it doesn't go anywhere for me, so there you go.
Wait, the album, not the song, though. Right?
Not the song that song's great. That's a good song. The rest of it, I couldn't, like Jake said, I'll listen to Mama Said Knock You Out again, though, for goddamn certain.
When you're working out.
I don't, exactly. So I'm never going to listen to it.
I listen to that with my coffee and wait for the students to come in the door. I'm just like,
in the headphones. That would be a good thing to run in, blowing on the speakers in the work truck in inappropriate situations. That would be fun. But yeah, anyways.
All right. Well, thank you, Chuck. Appreciate that. Next up, we've got Post-Orgasmic Chill. So after you're done looking at LL Cool J and listening to my review of him, you can listen to this one because of the title. See what I did there?
Yeah, that's...
Anyway, this was the third album released by Skunk Anansie. You'd think I get that right by now. They got the name from Ghana folktale, and it's like the Anansie's a Spider-Man. That's the funnest fact that I found about these guys.
Oh, sorry. He and Robert Smith friends.
Let's go into their first track on the album, Charlie Big Potato. Based on that, I was thinking it was going to be something that it ended up being. I thought it was going to be more electronic, but these guys, their first few albums were more punk and alternative. And then this one, was supposed to be harder hitting, but overall I found it, or that's what I read about it anyway. Overall, I found it a little bit more snoozy. And kind of formulaic. Now, it was produced by Andy Wallace. Anybody ever heard of that guy? He worked with Nirvana and Slayer.
No.
So,
who are those bands?
What Nirvana when?
What did he work on?
I don't know. I thought one of you guys would know. You guys are just it's dead air over there.
Well, there wasn't a lot of Nirvana albums. It must have been like Bleach or something, huh?
Yeah. Could have been like a song on Incesticide.
Well, the name did sound familiar, but I don't have anything to say.
Sounds like someone should fact check this one.
You're right.
Well,
you got Albini and you got what's his face?
The guy from Garbage.
I could be wrong.
What's his face?
Let's go a little bit further in Charlie Big Potato.
Butch Vig.
This was one of their bigger songs,
Butch
believe
Vig.
it or not. That's why it's called Big Potato, not Small Potato. So throughout, I found some little snippets of stuff that I like. Now, nobody can deny that this lady's voice is amazing. Her name's Deborah Ann Dreyer, but she goes by Skinny, or actually that was her nickname when she was a kid. And then she shortened it because she thought that wasn't cool enough. So she just goes by Skin now. She describes Skunk Anansie as clit rock.
Yeah, my favorite kind of rock.
Find the boat.
An amalgam of heavy metal and black feminist rage. So a lot of her lyrics are, socially aware and commenting on different social issues. And like I said, super powerful. Let's hear a little bit more at the end of Charlie Big Potato. So, again, super powerful voice, but to me, it was kind of almost a one-hit wonder that was, like I said, they just kept repeating the same formula. Let's hear a little more of what I'm talking about in the next track, We Don't Need. I thought this was super cool, super groovy. Opens nice and slow, you know? But then, you know, things speed up. She starts getting upset, and, you know, we fast forward into about 50 seconds in, and she's getting crazy again. Trouble. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't see past that kind of formula. But there are some more clips worth listening to. Let's hear the opening part of Tracy's Flaw. It's about drug addiction. Oh yeah, a lot of strings on this album. And then we'll go to later and see what's going on now. I mean, she has chops, but
I didn't know they had Rush sing on it. That's cool.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of other bands mixed in that were familiar, and I didn't do a timeline or anything, but it definitely reminds me. Her style reminds me of a lot of other popular bands of a similar style. But like I said, they never really took off in the U.S. They were super big in the U.K. They headlined Glastonbury, and she was actually the first Black British woman to headline the festival. They did a whole bunch of world tours with the likes of U2, Aerosmith, Lenny Kravitz, Bad Religion, Rollins Band, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I had never heard of them. They also had a couple tracks off of the Strange Days soundtrack from one of their older albums, but those didn't even sound familiar to me. Ryan, I like the groove on the Skank Heads. Let's listen to that. Pretty sick. This was my favorite track probably on the whole album. And let's go to later. Crazy. Cool instrumental part here. This is cool. The bass part is cool. A little trippy, little.
That's cool.
I dug that. And then just two more tracks. We got a couple parts from Lately here at the beginning. Aside from her voice, that one is like direct rip-off of Lenny Kravitz, I thought. It could have fit nicely if Lenny was singing.
Well, we know how much you love Lenny.
I know. And I mean, talk about formulaic, right? And then later, I think she starts screaming a little bit. She didn't scream, and it wasn't that bad. All right, last track, Secretly. It's no secret how I'm going to feel about this one. Thank you, courtesy.
I've been biding my time. Been so subtly kind.
That's enough.
Incubus sounding.
Yeah, like I said, I know I picked up a lot of other stuff. Maybe they influenced everybody. Maybe they stole it. Who am I to judge? All I know is they didn't release another album after this for 11 years. They broke up. And, even when in their later years, I had still never heard of them. What does that mean? Not much for you, the listener. And I'm sure if you're British, you love these guys like a lot of other British people do. Wasn't for me, though. I ended up giving it a 1.8.
Whoa.
What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, not as generous as you on this one. I'm with the 1.5. It annoyed me a lot. Yeah. You brought up some cooler elements because listening to the album on the whole, I was just agitated. But listening to certain bits in isolation, I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty good. So I went from a 1 to a 1.5 because of you. But also just wanted to mention real quick that Andy Wallace was the mixer on Nevermind. So he's a producer and a mixer.
There it is.
Oh, mixer.
On Nevermind. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and he did actually Rage Against the Machine. He was a mixer. L7, like all sorts of Sepultura. He was a mixer and a producer.
Sepultura, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, I wasn't really a big fan of the sound, like the production of this album.
And he was the
producer
and mixer on this one.
No, I just don't like, they use, it seems like that, like I said, it sounds so familiar that it was big, like that style was big in the 90s on a lot of albums. So.
Yeah, and like the sound for me, I don't know, it's well done, I would say, technically, but it doesn't appeal to me.
Is someone scribbling?
Yeah, Jake's scribbling.
Yeah, he's taking his notes with his notepad.
Thinks he's a talk show host.
My bad. Go back on mute.
Don't go on mute. Just don't fucking have it sitting down.
Just hold it to the side just a little bit.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Jordan. Didn't mean to.
And I'm done. 1.5.
All right. Thank you. And, Jake was also very angry about this album. He doesn't often speak up, in such a passionate way like you did for this one. Jake, what was going on with you?
Hold on, I'm almost done scribbling. And here we go. Yeah, thank you. I was really irritated, much like Jordan said, just angry at this one for some reason. Fuck this album. When it came on, I was just, what are you doing? No, what is this?
I was told there was orgasms.
You made it sound so good.
You were let down by the title, yeah.
I was. I just, definitely not going back. I did listen to it, so I gave it the old college try, but still didn't really like it until I heard it was clit rock. Yeah, and then everything changed for me. And so for that, I give it a half bump in score to a 1.5.
1.5. All right. Chuck, what about you?
Oh, wow. Well, that was, I'm following that.
Sorry.
I like you mentioned, I found it repetitive. I found it formulaic, like you mentioned. But like I didn't give it a 1. I gave it a 2 because, like you showed in your samples, there's some fun, creative, like parts of the album, like, and not just from a musical standpoint, but from a production standpoint. I don't know, like I feel like there's parts of this album that are really good, which is kind of confusing, but yeah, I gave it a 2. So
nice, Chuck. I'm not confused at all. Ryan, finish us off.
I'm going to go with a 2 after the review as well, because I actually did kind of like Elements as well. So there you go.
Wow, I like it. Short, sweet, and amazing. And you copied somebody else's score.
Yep.
All right, next up is Movies
I'm not afraid.
by Holger C.
Holger C, yeah. Czukay, I think, is how he says it. It's a Polish name, but it's, I guess, pronounced in a Germanic way because he's of Polish descent, apparently, but was German. So, Czukay, but Czukay, which, phonetically, Czukay. There you go. Okay, so this album came out in 1979, and it's, well, first I should mention that Holger was a founding member and kind of one of the main orchestrators of the sound of Can, a band that we had looked at before. We looked at their album Future Days, which also had 4 tracks. This one also has 4 tracks, so this is another one where I get to talk about every track, which is pretty awesome. And this isn't, an album for everybody, but it was influential and it kind of anticipated a lot of different styles that were to come in the 80s and 90s and beyond. So let's just move right on into our first track here. We have Cool in the Pool. Yeah, so in this album throughout, you hear a lot of looping, sampling, some ambient sounds, and just kind of loose structures. And he was a bass player in Can, so, kind of features bass more prominently here, drum machines and things like that. But this song is one of the most, I would say, kind of straightforward songs in a way. It's, easily the funkiest, quirkiest, and most accessible track on the album, one that I really love. So let's go on to clip 2 from this one. I thought I had some lyrics in there somewhere. Maybe not. Well, let's go to the next. Let's just go to the last one, starting at 110 there.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
The lyrics are French horn.
Did you play Cool in the Pool from 30 seconds?
Yeah, it was 30 seconds in.
Oh,
Yep,
that's so
I
weird.
Definitely did.
Hold on, let's listen to this.
It's the same 30 seconds in.
Oh, maybe I just missed it. You know what? I don't know why, but
Okay, I'll just play a little bit before.
Did you use your de-lyricizer, Ryan?
I swear I had that. That's so weird.
Same track over and over.
Yeah,
Just play the whole song and
yeah,
let's
we can
see.
just play the whole
find
song
out
and we'll
eventually.
find it. Just
Yeah, let
play
me
it
see.
while I
Don't
keep
have to worry
talking.
about copyrights.
It's
Oh, here we go. Well, anyway.
All right, I'm glad we did that.
Well, I don't know what the hell happened because I swear I listened to it, I checked it. But anyway, we're cool in the pool. He's singing like that. He's got his German accent, which I love.
Man, I wish I could hear it.
Yeah, I know. Where the hell is it? I swear I had.
Okay, come on.
Come on, man. Where's cool in the pool? Just pick any place randomly in that song and play it.
I've been doing it the whole time. Okay, here.
Oh, here we go.
Is it here? Let's just do this the rest of the show.
This is like some weird Simpsons episode.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, so
I don't think he sings the entire song. That's
One more time.
It's cool in the pool. He says it. We're cool in the pool.
I'm sure he does.
The hot. It's hilarious. This song, I feel like this is what you get if you asked Frank Zappa, George Clinton, and Count Chocula to write a song about Club Med.
And that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it gives me the vibe of eavesdropping on Peter Lorre and the Muppets partying at a poolside Holiday Inn on the outskirts of Miami. That's what this song is.
That's awesome too.
Yeah,
man!
it's the soundtrack for summer. In short, that's what that means.
We gotta find it.
We're
Damn it!
Cool in the pool. We gotta find. Let's just keep going through this goddamn thing. I'm gonna stay here all night.
Spuds McKinsey there? Yes, he is.
Oh my God! He keeps hitting the same part. I think we're in an episode in hell. That's the same thing. It's 4 minutes in. I think we're in hell.
I did tell you it was a lot of loops on this one.
Wow! It's impossible.
And I don't know what happened. I checked the tracks. I swear he was cool in the pool.
Just different versions of the album.
It sounds like it's funny when you say it.
Yeah.
I can sort of understand.
Well,
it's the instrumental version.
it's got that, rigid drum machine, the looping, as we are very well aware, the bright synth textures, and it's a freaking awesome track. But let's just move on to our next one. We have Oh Lord, Give Us More Money. So this this track is kind of where the album gets to what it's really aiming at, and it's much more of a lean toward the kind of avant-garde influences that he had with sort of sound collage stuff going on, and he was very much interested in shortwave radios, and so there's a lot of those samples coming in. There's a shortwave radio of some preacher, going off about something, and then, a lot of repeating phrases, a lot of layering with just very, minimal rhythmic fragments. Let's go ahead and hear the next sample. This one's more reminiscent of the, the Can krautrock sort of sound. It's very hypnotic. It's a bit unsettling. It's fragmented. Let's go ahead and hear the last clip we got from this one. And that's easily the funkiest element in that very, very long song. It kind of, a lot of it's very sort of thin texture. There's some discordant kind of vocal samples going on in that one. It's interesting. And let's move on to our next one. We got Persian Love. Let's go ahead.
Is that the shortwave?
There's some shortwave radio there, and that was apparently it's some sort of Farsi singing, and that's why he called it Persian Love. And this one, I guess, is considered one of the more influential tracks on this album because of its sort of connection to world music, But anyway, because he did kind of bring in some of that Middle Eastern elements to go along with the vocals. And let's hear the next clip.
بارها با آتش غم ساختی بارها با آتش غم ساختیم بار دیگر ز آتش غم سوختیم.
Yeah, some more of that shortwave sampling. And let's get into our last clip of this one. Yeah, so a lot like his work with Can, this one doesn't really have a structure in the traditional sense of the song. It's just a kind of a texture, meditative, repetitious sort of thing that you can really get into if you just sort of sit back and relax and, maybe have one of those special pens that Mike got for the Fish concert. I think you'd really enjoy this.
It's writing?
Yeah. Sorry, Jessica.
Yeah, sorry, Jessica. But so this track, it's definitely influential in a lot of sort of ambient music, trip hop type stuff, and just sort of, a lot of loop based electronic music that came out later. And I would say like minimally EDM, but the last track I can kind of feel like it would have a little bit more. It's not EDM, but it can see how it influenced EDM music. Let's hear some Hollywood Symphony. And that's the most rockin' part of the song right there. It's right there at the intro. It's kind of like a hint of a guitar, and it doesn't go that way. Let's hear the next clip. So it was somewhere about this point when my wife asked me to turn the album off, I think. It's just like, this is not for everybody, honestly, because it's a lot of repetition. That drum loop, it just keeps happening. There's a lot of like noodly sort of bass or guitar. I can't even quite tell what it is that's going on there. And again, it's not going in any clear direction at any point, and there's a lot of just sort of messiness in this track. Let's hear the last clip.
800 scattered, feeling 1,200 broken.
Yeah, it doesn't have like the same steady groove like you get in Cool in the Pool, and it's very fragmented and it's quite disorienting. But it's it could really sort of put you in a particular mood, which is I think one of the powerful aspects of this track. But it's not the easiest one to listen to. So this one is not my favorite track on the album. It's kind of, it just felt a little thin throughout too. So anyway, though, on the whole, very, very interesting album. And what makes movies compelling to me is that, he's coming out of a tradition of avant-garde music. He studied directly under, what was that guy's name? Anyway, some Dutch kind of sounding dude. Studied under him, sound collage.
Stockhausen.
What was it?
Wasn't it Stockhausen?
It was, yes. Thank you.
Good pull.
Thanks, Mike. You're right. Mike didn't chugle that either. He knew that. Yes. Oh, yeah. Karl-Heinz Stockhausen. I had it right there in my notes, just overlooked it. And so he studied directly under him, and he was one of the innovators of like using tape loops and like kind of found sounds and things like that, and then along with Pierre Schaeffer. And then, of course, there was John Cage, who came before them, and he used a lot of found sounds, manipulations. He had like the specially like adapted piano. And as I was saying before, I'm going to play a sample from one of John Cage's most famous compositions called 4 Minutes and 33 Seconds. And I'm going to play it on my own end here, Nash. So you all ready for it? Okay, here we go.
Oh, I get it.
And that was from John Cage's 4 Minutes and 33 Seconds, which was a composition that was complete silence. The piano player sat down at the piano, opened up the keyboard, and then sat there for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. And it was supposed to be...
make it entertaining.
Yeah, all of the kind of sounds around you, the ambiance that's, surround the performance, that was actually the music itself. So it's the found sound. And then that kind of ethos is like really, at heart for this type of music, just taking found sounds and just basically saying that the context of the sound is important and that anything can constitute music. And it follows in the tradition of like the dot artists like Marcel Duchamp, artists like Kurt Schwitters, and Robert Rauschenberg, a lot of my favorite artists, Andy Warhol, even like using found images. So to me, like I can see a big crossover in some of my favorite visual art and some very interesting music. But this isn't going to be everybody's cup of tea. But for me, I think this album is a solid 4. Cool in the Pool is a fun song. I think a lot of people could really connect with that one, but a lot of the rest of the album, maybe not so much. But I think it's not a perfect album, but a very highly influential album, and certainly a very, very interesting one that is rewarding on multiple listens. So I'll start on the bottom here and go with Ryan.
Yes, I'm on the bottom.
Yes.
I love this album. I like the... found sound shit. That's the whole patio furniture kind of thing for me. It connected with me, and I enjoyed listening to it several times. I think I'm going to give it a 4 as well. Fuck you, Mike.
All right, there we go.
Copy, Your
unoriginal scores, copying me all night long. Well, Perfect timing. Let's go to Mike.
Came out aggressive.
Funny. It's funny you said that because I was going to give it a 4 as well. And now I'm even more inclined to give it a 4. And yeah, for the same reasons. I just thought it was super unique. This is my style in general. I like weird. I like funny in my music. And yeah, it caught me off guard, but I loved it.
Thank you so much.
The weather reports and stuff are relevant to me right now. I just kind of break in and just cut in on everyone and take up everyone's time. But the shortwave radio thing is really cool, especially hearing the sitar and shit. Anyways, back off.
Awesome. Yeah, we just found that Iranian lady supposedly.
That's so cool.
To the radio.
And it's probably with shortwave
TV samples too.
Yeah, he took samples from
like movies that were on TV.
Well, and shortwave is one that you can get around the world, right? Isn't that the one that goes to the atmosphere? It bounces somehow? Anyways.
I don't know.
Because like in that movie, astronauts hear shortwave. So
Right.
All right.
it's in a movie. It must be real.
Awesome. Well, it's not your turn, Chuck. Jake.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my turn now, Chuck.
I want to go.
Almost, man. Almost.
All right.
I thought the album was fun. Like there were parts of it that just sounded really fun and bubbly and happy, and I like that. And there's other parts too, but I thought you did a great job breaking it down as always. It came with some really good clips, and you know, for an album that only had 4 songs, you were pretty limited. But I thought you did a good job of doing that. So, yeah. I one of these days I'll hear It's Cool in the Pool and be able to scratch my itch. But 3 stars. 3 stars for me.
All right, thank you. And I guess we're done now. Let's move on to Ryan doing Metallica.
Metallica.
Hey, we got everybody, right? All right, Chuck.
That's awesome.
Since you
doesn't have
made
much
me
to
go
say.
last, I'm gonna take the time.
At least you're
to
not on the
say-
bottom.
I'm gonna throw back to another album that I slept on. Todd Rundgren's "A Wizard
Yes.
True Star," which Ryan and I believe Mike saw the beauty of, and I did not. And I don't want to sleep on another album like that. And to me, that's sort of what this album is. Like, when you first listen to it, it's weird. It's like, what the fuck is going on? But then the more you listen, like, I don't know. It's almost like he is running those samples and adapting them like musically, which I don't even know how he would have done at the time because I didn't think the technology would allow it. But maybe I'm wrong.
They were tape loops.
It's incredible what he's doing on this album. And I didn't find it as obtuse as John Cage. I found it pretty accessible because it's melodic. There's beautiful harmonies. I don't know. I really dug this album. And I think, as Jordan, you were talking about, I think it's influenced EDM acts like Boards of Canada, definitely. Matmos, like maybe even like bands like Tortoise. I think it's been really influential on like a lot of modern avant-garde. I love it. Like right now, I'm giving it a 4, but I could see this like becoming a 5 for me. So,
Yeah, I mean, I could see my rating go higher too if I listened to it more, but yep. No, it's a solid one. And I could even see like Dust Brothers and stuff like that too, just like the kind of layering and, you know, found sounds and all that. So yeah, it's a really cool album.
Well, thank you, Jordan, and thank you, everybody that rated it a 4. Last but not least, Metallica's Black Album.
Okay, I just got to do that. I got to start with that.
Sure.
Because here's the thing. Imagine me in junior high, sit-faced and fucking just as dorky as it gets with the mullet and the whole deal, seeing Matt Lockard play this in the quad.
I remember that.
And it blew my mind that some kid could be doing Metallica in the middle of the quad, and he did a half-ass version of this song. So my dumbass got immediately home, whipped the guitar out, and learned this song. If that kid can do it, I can do it. That was amazing for me. This album and that song specifically got me going on guitar. I'd already started playing bass and playing drums, but this was the guitar start for me, and I love this song.
Take my hand, off to Neverland.
So I'm just going to play the shit out of everything on this because there's so many good parts on this. This album is very interesting in a lot of ways. A lot of it kind of came out for me differently listening to it because I seriously had a big grunge with Metallica because of the whole Napster thing. I thought they were a bunch of dicks. I stopped listening to them entirely and had a big hard-on for them. and I'm not sure why. I think we've made
I think it's
it up.
because you're on the
Wait,
bottom.
is that?
Yeah.
I thought that's a good thing.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever you want
big,
to do.
big, really?
That's it. Okay, come on.
Drums are awesome.
So, one of the things about the drums in this was recorded on in a studio one-on-one. It's in L.A., and basically, it's a 1980s Gretsch kick. It's a 22. It's a little tiny thing, right? And brass snare. I love brass snares. I have a Black Beauty, and like that. You know, brass is just a good sound, real hard snap. But they're all about miking the drums up. All natural, no reverb, that kind of thing. That's what gives it that sound. It's got that click. They got like 8 mics in the drum. I think it was 4, but 421, 47, RE20. But the click of the bass drum is what makes that bass drum sound so, I don't know.
Are you sure it was an RE20?
RE20, yes. And you know, RE20s are known for capturing bass. You know, they have the presence effect. Anyways, very, very cool. And they were trying to record everything in the room. The thing that ended up happening, it was recorded by a guy that had done some other albums with some of the hard rock kind of guys. I'm trying to find his name right now in my notes, but I'm not being successful. But anyways, they didn't get along at all. Yeah, exactly. They didn't get along at all with. They just didn't see eye to eye with the whole production of things. And it turns out that all 3 of the guys, Ulrich, Hammett, and Newston, divorced their wives during this time too. So they were going to call this album Married to Rock or something like that, and they decided that Metallica was just fine. I know we were talking about how it's lazy for people to name the album after the just the name of the
Case in
band.
point.
But they it's better than the Married to Rock thing or whatever the fuck it was going to be. Anyways, this is their 5th album. They'd had some success, but this was definitely their breakup album or breakout album, not breakup. And
maybe both.
Well, yeah, and it's like the first 5 songs on the album are all just out of hand bangers. I mean, the layers of guitars, the sound of the space in that drum set is out of hand. It's so fucking good. I was listening to this yesterday and I was in tears. It was ridiculous. I don't know what was happening. I mean, the leads, those doubled up guitars, the little parts that they're throwing in, that there's so much production on this thing. Bass is highlighted all over. So the thing that also I noted, I mean, just the sound of the guitars, the layering of the guitars, the production in general, they remixed this thing 3 times. They would take 20 or 30 takes because they were such perfectionists, and they would cut those takes together to get the full song. So the majority of the time of the album was spent cutting these 20 or 30 takes. It sounds very Kubrick-esque, and they would put these songs together, and it ended up being $1 million production to get this done. And to me, it sounds like $1 million production because it really does have everything that it takes to make that, that kind of sound. This song,
I love this one.
has such a good break.
Sergio Leone.
Yeah, what I got out of it, exactly what you're saying, Chuck. After hearing this, I didn't get that as a kid. I totally got this being like a Wild West type, thing, like the dusty back, lots of California kind of thing, the Mormon rocks and things. Like it has that feel. And it's so interesting to me that a 22 bass drum has got that huge of a sound. I think that's awesome. It's surprising how these things work. Later on in the song, this song here. So what I got out of this, too, same Sergio Leone kind of thing, right? Very kind of like the far east meets the far west. I love the instrumentation, and I think the snare drum really does and is supposed to sound like a gun going off, and I love it. So that's the first 5 songs of this album. I mean, goddamn, I don't know. It's something that I was not expecting to like as much as I did. So, I guess at some point when you're listening to a million tracks and everything else, it might start to kind of blend together. It didn't, though. Overall, for me, that first block of tracks just kept getting better and better. And I remember that as a kid, listening to that. But it's interesting to come back to an album and re kind of discover it, I guess. No more, to secure pieces, to prepare for war. So be it. Touch me again with the words that you will hear evermore. Let's see, Nothing Else Matters. Of course, it's interesting to have these type of songs. This is another one that was played in the quad. I think this kind of like the Green Day thing, it got everyone into the idea of heavy metal that wouldn't usually be into that. A Christian band playing Metallica in the quad, Yucaipa High School is same kind of thing, right? That lead has a lot of impact. Bring leads back into music, for fuck's sake. I think there should be a goddamn,
Do you remember seeing Some Kind of Monster? Did you see that documentary?
No, I want to see that now.
It's so funny because there's a scene in there where they're telling Hammett, whatever his name is, a guitarist, that, we're not playing leads in this album. Like, those are like really dated. It's like, we don't do that anymore. And then he was just kind of like thinking for a second. He's like, well, if we don't play a lead in it, then it's going to be dated to now when we didn't play lead.
Well, I gotta watch that. I saw that as I was looking at this too. Like some of the things, like they have references to Spinal Tap and that, like the album cover and that type of stuff too. I love it when they can kind of joke about themselves a bit, but it did seem like that whole.
Oh no, they were serious, and that's what was so funny about it.
Well, and just it always seemed to me like they kind of took themselves way too seriously with the Napster thing. Like when you'd hear them on the radio or whatever, like shut the fuck up. But I don't know. I definitely need to watch that. One of the things I noticed too is they have a lot of songs that come out like that where it's just nothing but bass. I love this stuff. So the bass is really strong in this band too. So everyone's really kind of towing the line. And it's got a good feel. So anyways, here's a couple more real quick clips because I'm just beating this to death. I did notice in this song it does have cowbell, which is awesome. And cowbell in a rock song. This type of shit is killer. And the vocals are good in this too. I think the vocals really kill. So I love this kind of like marching band, like, marching into war shit. It has I love the guitars in this. That sounds huge. It is a big thing. And then the snake that's coiled up on the surface, the "Don't Tread on Me" snake, it has some of those roots and kind of the shitty parts of history, I guess. But to me, anyways, the whole thing, I'm going to give it a 5 and just go on that. So I'm going to go to who I think probably won't do that, Chuck.
Well, I mean, break up. You did an amazing job highlighting the subtleties and the nuance of the production. And to be honest with you, I like this album. There was something even at the time when I heard it that I thought was magical about it. Especially Inner Sandman. That song is just incredible. And I think my original rating, it was like on the high 3, but honestly, Ryan, like after listening to you bumped it up like to a 4. But I do have one question. Like, you talk about...
Yes, it has balls.
It absolutely has a lot of balls, but you talk about the $1 million production, and I absolutely see where you're going, and I agree with you 100%. My question to you is, if you saw Metallica live, do you think you would enjoy it as much?
Yes, I do, because they are exceptional live, and your ears aren't adjusted the same way when you're listening to a live show. So one of the things I did want to say, though, and I didn't in my thing, was that it's the 4th release in American history to hit 550 weeks on the Billboard 200, and the 2nd longest charting traditional title in history, only behind The Dark Side of the Moon. Wow. There is something to be said about that, I suppose. And yes, I do think they would be good live. Jordan, what do you think?
I love this album. I actually had this one on tape. It's one of those early albums that I just had for a long time. And, I remember hearing Inner Sandman when we were like 8th grade or whenever that came out. And it just was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. And then, The Unforgiven is just I love that song. I've always loved that song. It's just one of my favorite songs, just hands down, love it. But the album on the whole, it's not perfect, so 4.8. It starts to drag a little bit toward the end, but still a great album that I love.
Wow, that's awesome. And okay, so Mike, what do you think?
Thanks. Yeah, it does sound good live because this was one of my first live concerts I went to in 1994.
Oh, wow.
In Devore.
Wow.
Suicidal
awesome.
Tendencies opened up for him. Rob Michelson's mom dropped us off and
wow.
went home and then
Rob.
picked us up. Rest in peace, Rob.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was mind-blowing. I had only seen UB40 before this.
Oh, wow.
So it was a big difference. This was one of my first CDs. I actually owned this CD before I owned a CD player. I bought 4 CDs. Jake was there. Picked this one up, and yeah, just truly enjoyed this music. Yeah, I think you're right, Jordan. It does snooze a little bit towards the end, especially in my older ears re-listening, but I still gave it a 4.4.
4.4, okay. And what do you say, Jake?
Love Metallica, love this album so much, and Mike's right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Is this is the first time I heard it was that CD in Mike's bedroom, and man, it just blew my mind. I mean, of course, I was so young, I didn't really appreciate it for what it was at the time. Just knew it was something special. 5 stars for me.
Nice. Wow. Okay. Good. Did we lose Jordan?
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay, so I do apologize for that. I had an All Music tab open, and they have all these like spam ads, and it just was blasting, like just suddenly out of nowhere. There's like this audio. And I was like, what the? So it shocked me.
So all I heard
thought
was
you took a toy
"What
to
the
the
fuck?"
groin.
Yeah. No, it was
thought
like
he was just
it was
reacting
like
to me.
definitely loud and very sudden. So
that's
apologize for that, folks.
That adds character. It adds to the whole blend of the end of the show, which is just gonna. I'm just gonna cut it up.
It's falling
kinda
apart,
like
yes.
the shortwave radio thing, and then I'm gonna find a clip with the vocals that you talk about, and then put it in there as the
we
insert, and that'll work out good.
My ears still hurt from that one. Oh my god.
Well, Jordan, where did we end up this week,
Yes.
Jordan?
Oh my god!
All right.
Thank you.
Give me a moment here. Okay, well, coming in last place, no shock here, is that Skunk and Anansie, I guess, with 1.76 stars. Coming in at fourth, we got LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out, 2.97 stars. Third place, Depeche Mode, Music for the Masses, 3.58 stars. That means second place, we got Holger Czukay with movies with 3.8 stars. And then Metallica. That's right, is that? Yeah, by Metallica.
Nailed it.
The Great Divorce Album.
Yes, well, they got 4.54 stars.
Nice.
Incredible.
Like a 454. Ugh.
You know, despite the challenges, I agree. This was another great week, and you have been listening to 1001, an album odyssey. Don't forget to check us out on the Instagram and the TikTok. You know, I say the because I'm old. But most importantly, have a great week.